The wait is over. Dive into Audible's most anticipated collection, The Best of 2025, featuring top audiobooks, podcasts, and originals across all genres. Our editors have carefully curated this year's must-listens, from brilliant hidden gems to the buzziest new releases. Every title in this collection has earned its spot. This is your go-to for the absolute best in 2025 audio entertainment. Whether you love thrillers, romance, or nonfiction, your next favorite listen awaits. Discover why there's more to imagine when you listen at audible.com/bestoftheyear.
Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure where to start? Thumbtack knows homes, so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish and satin? Or what that clunking sound from your dryer is? With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates, and read reviews all on the app. Download Thumbtack today.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of After Dark. Nothing good happens after dark, but we're here anyway with Alice.
We
Brett,
should definitely,
by the way, if you missed it,
not still be up because Brett has court in the morning.
It's gonna be easy.
I don't even know what awaits me.
I have an oral argument next week.
Do you really?
I do.
Did it get pushed, or has it always been on the books?
It's always been on the books. So.
I mean, in some ways, you've had unlimited time to prepare for it if the government's been shut down. In other ways, you probably haven't been working.
Well, I didn't exactly start preparing for it until today, so...
Technically, anti-deficiency clause, you were not supposed to be able to work.
Good
So you,
point.
not clause, act. So you were just abiding by the law.
I'm not really supposed to talk about my cases, but this is after dark, so whatever. But it's one of those where, I have no idea why we're going to oral argument. And that's the worst, because I feel like I'm going to walk in and the judges are going to be like, so,
Oops.
this issue. And I'll be like, oh, shoot. That's why we're here? Well.
Or, as you probably know, some clerk didn't do their job and didn't properly vet the case. And then you have a situation where the judges are like, why are we here? Well, let's just hope for that situation.
The dirty little secret about oral argument in circuit courts is, here's what happens. So... there are judges called screener judges. Or they're all screener judges, right? They get these cases.
They split them up.
Yeah, they split them up.
Whoever's a screener judge.
There's hundreds of cases coming in.
Judge.
And so this case shows up, and the judge reads it, and they're like, and one of three things happens. Either, number one, they say, wow, this is a really interesting case that could affect the future of the law. We need to have oral argument on this case, right? That could be the first thing. Second thing is, wow, this is a real injustice. This can't stand. We need to have an oral argument to address this. That's the second thing. The third thing, and the thing that happens most often, I think, is the judge is like, man, I ain't got time to read this. Send it to oral argument, right? And they just send it to oral argument because, dirty little secret, and one of the stupidest things they do in the court, if you send it to oral argument, you are not on the panel. So you get a case and you're like, man, these are some idiots.
This is boring. This is maritime law
is so boring.
With tax, and I am bored.
I am bored to death. These lawyers are dumb. The briefs are 100 pages. I don't want to read this. I ain't got time for this oral argument. Right? And so then it just goes off to the next three judges who take it. So,
now, certainly none of the judges we clerked for ever did that.
Nor would any of the judges.
We as clerks ever do that.
Nor would any of the judges that I appear in front of would ever do that.
Never would they do that.
Yes.
But there definitely was this oral argument that I was clerk for. That was 150-page briefs on either side about some obscure, seemingly inane maritime issue that we were like, how does this affect us today? And not in 1821.
Yeah.
And the questions reflected it. The judges were like, was there a dinghy or a buoy?
Yeah.
And we didn't know the answer. And
sometimes you get in there, and the good thing about being the government is usually you go second. So by the time you get up to talk, the other guy's already endured 15 minutes of questions. So you have a pretty good idea. Is this real? Are we going to actually do this here? Or are we not here for any reason? And I can just get up and be like, yeah, you know, I agree with everything you've just said. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'll sit down, right? So.
Exactly. Okay, so I have a really important question because I do think this is very interesting. I used to love traveling. Now I like traveling much less. It's hard to leave a bunch of kids behind. And also, it's just like not as novel to stay in a hotel room anymore. I like my own bed. So we were talking about this. What do you do when you walk into a hotel room? So I do the full sweep. Like I drop on my hands and knees and look under the bed. Most beds now, like in hotel rooms, have the barrier where there's no under the bed. Must be because they know murderers can hide under there. But I swing open every door. I make a lot of noise and I'm like ready to bolt. And then when I have cleared the room, like the police officer I am not, I then bolt all the doors. Like if there's the door bolt or the chain and then the like little turny thing. I don't know what the turny thing does because as those of you who've been following for a while, there was one crime con. We don't have to be specific about which one. I was given a key to a room that was not mine. And then this happened yet again when I had the bed bug issue. I did not get bed bugs, but the room I was in had bed bugs and they sent us to a room with a key that opened the door where someone was. So that's why I bolt all my doors. Less so because of murderers, more so because of incompetence, because I figure if someone wants to come in and get me, they're going to be able to knock down the door.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm a man, so I don't feel... I'll say this.
You don't check your room when you go in a hotel room?
Well, what would I check for? Well,
wait, really? Okay, I need a poll. In the chat. I truly am curious about this. I've never not checked a room that I go into.
What are we checking for? Like people?
Someone!
Because there is that story, and it's a true story. It's an urban legend, but it's also based on a true story about the guy who murdered the woman and put her under the bed. And like somebody checked in, they're like, wow, this place stinks. And they found the dead body under the bed. So there's
terrifying. Well, if I smelled a dead body, I would just run. I'm not looking for a dead body. I'm looking for someone who wants to make me a dead body. I mean, you really don't check?
No. I check the back of my car, but look, it's different being a guy.
No, I agree. I'm not chastising you. I'm so surprised that you don't check. Like, I would not be able to continue about my night if I had not checked. I check all my doors before I go to bed at night.
I mean, if it was a super shady motel, maybe. I
do this at the Ritz-Carlton.
I do not check the Ritz-Carlton.
100%.
I assume that's part of the service, is they check for murders.
No, because there are more places to hide at a place like the Ritz-Carlton. Are you kidding? All those fluffy little couches? I lift all of the little skirts and look, not female skirts. I look at all underneath all the like chairs and look for...
I have a Ritz-Carlton story, which I haven't told, I don't think. Have I ever told the story about the time I almost got arrested? Have I told this story?
No.
Involving the Ritz?
No, but please tell us.
And this has nothing to do with getting murdered, but it does speak to the service level of the Ritz-Carlton. So, when I was clerking, as all best stories start. So, I was clerking. We had en banc arguments in Atlanta. So, en banc is when the entire circuit gathers to hear really important cases. And so, all the clerks go... All the judges are there. You do it in the really fancy courtroom. It's a really important cases. So really probably you should be on top of your game for those, right? Well, so the Ritz-Carlton in Atlanta, we'd always stay at. And we would stay on the club level. So before we went to dinner, we went to the club level. And the club level, they would just give you alcohol. And like I was young and stupid and poor. And so it's like, wait, you're just giving me alcohol? This is awesome. And so they had like Grand Marnier they were giving us. And I didn't know. I just thought Grand Marnier was like a liqueur. But it's like 40% alcohol, right?
It's like rubbing alcohol.
So they give it's good. And so they give everybody.
No. My point being, it's very strong.
It is strong. So everybody gets it, and they're like sipping it, and we have to go to dinner. And I'm like, I'll take them. So I drank everybody's like Grand Marniers. We went to dinner with the judge. He was very generous. He ordered all these bottles of wine. We drank all the wine. Then we get back to the Ritz-Carlton, and across the street from the Ritz-Carlton was an Irish pub, right? So me and the like career clerk and one of the other people, I'm like, let's go to the Irish pub. So we go to the Irish pub, and the last thing I remember,
oh no,
we get to the Irish pub, we order Irish car bombs. So, no offense to those of you in Ireland who this means something else.
Don't you have en banc the next day?
We did, the next day.
Goodness gracious.
So it's me, my co-clerk, who I loved. We were best friends, best buds. We did everything together. I still see her every Halloween because she lives in the neighborhood that I go trick-or-treating in. But anyways, and the career clerk. So the career clerk apparently left after the Irish car bomb. It was just me and my co-clerk. So we ordered the Irish car bombs. And the last thing I remember is... So an Irish car bomb, it's like half a glass of Guinness and then a shot of Jameson and Bailey's. And you drop it in the Guinness and you chug it. So I remember chugging the Irish car bomb. That's the last thing I remember. The next thing I remember...
Is your judge bailing you out of jail?
No. Is waking up, sitting up in my bed. So I wake up. And I'm sitting up.
Like sitting on the edge of the bed, or you're in the bed sitting up?
No, sitting on the edge. I'm sitting on the edge.
This is terrifying.
I wake up and I look up and there's like a table in front of me. And on the table is a woman's purse. So I see the woman's purse and then I immediately turn around into the bed to see, like, is there a woman in the bed with me, right? There's no woman in the bed. This is like 4 o'clock in the morning. There's no woman in the bed with me. You talk about checking. I like get up. I like walk into the bathroom. Is there a woman there's no woman in the bathroom. I text my girlfriend at the time, who I'm now married to. And I'm like, hey, I just woke up sitting up in my bed and there's a woman's purse here. I'm not sure what's going on. I'll let you know later. So anyways, I send this text. I'm still wearing, like, you know, the clothes I was wearing the night before. So anyway, so I don't know what's going on. And so basically I go back to sleep. I wake up and I go to breakfast and I'm way hungover.
You go to bed after this?
Yeah.
Having not figured out what happened?
I mean, I was half drunk, right? I didn't know what happened.
That's fair.
I go to bed. So I go to breakfast with my other co-clerk. And I'm like, the weirdest thing happened. I woke up and there's like a woman's purse in my room. And she's like, you have the purse? And I was like, what purse? Well, it turns out the purse was my co-clerk's purse. And my co-clerk's government credit card was in the purse. So when she woke up in her own room, by the way, and realized she didn't have her purse. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. So she's trying to call her fiance. And she dials the number. And she calls the guy at 3 o'clock in the morning. A random guy. And she's like trying to explain it to him. And the guy's like, you got the wrong number. But she keeps calling the same number, waking this guy up. And the guy's like, lady, I don't know who you are. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I am not your boyfriend. And she's crying. She's like, but I've lost my purse. And all this other stuff. Anyway. Okay, so then, like, it starts coming back to me in flashes, right? So basically what I've managed to reconstruct about the night is it's Valentine's Day, by the way. It's Valentine's Day. We're at this Irish pub. We do the car bomb. At some point, a couple comes in celebrating Valentine's Day. We somehow become, like, friends with them. One of them has cigarettes, right? And so I'm like, I want a cigarette. So she gives me a cigarette. So I start smoking the cigarette. Well, you can't smoke cigarettes in the bar in Atlanta at this time. So I'm smoking this cigarette. So the bouncer comes up, and I vaguely remember this now. So at the time, this was back when I tried to join the Navy. I think I've told this story. I tried to join the Navy, and I was like in great shape. So I'm like in the best shape of my life. The bouncer comes over. The bouncer is like this 5'3" dude who probably weighs like 120 pounds soaking wet. And he's like, sir, you're going to have to leave. And I looked at him and just burst out laughing because I was like, you gonna remove me, man? You're not going to remove me. So all this happens. At some point, my co-clerk goes to the bathroom. She loses her purse. She decides that the couple we're with stole the purse, right?
No.
So she's now accusing them of stealing the purse. They're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm smoking cigarettes. The bar's threatening to call the police. Like, all this stuff's going up. The next thing I remember is I'm standing in the lobby of the Ritz-Carlton talking to, like, this poor overnight clerk who apparently was interested in photography, right? And I'm like, oh, you like photography? And he's like, and he's being very nice or whatever. Well, as I'm discussing photography with this poor guy, like drunk out of my mind, the bartender from the bar across the street walks in with the purse and is like, your friend left this in the bathroom. And so I take the purse and I'm like, oh, thank you so much for bringing it. But they hate me, right? Because like they were trying to kick me out the whole time and they couldn't do it. And so she's like, don't ever come back to our bar again. So whenever I go to Atlanta, I've been back, but I always feel like I have to like hide. Like if they know it's me, they're gonna like.
They probably have posted your picture in the staff locker room.
Exactly. So the Irish bar across from the Ritz-Carlton Atlanta, I'm banned from that bar. I can't go to it. Anyways, so that's how I got the purse. I have no idea how I get back to my room. To this day, I've never remembered that.
Or how you're sleeping sitting up.
So I think eventually, poor photography guy was like, let me take you to your room, sir. And I went up there and put the purse down and then just sat down on the bed and literally passed out sitting up. Right? And then woke up later. And so then the next day we have oral argument.
And you were fine because this is the way you roll.
My poor co-clerk was so sick. She passed out on the couch in the chambers. Didn't even make it to oral argument.
No,
for the
she didn't.
I like limped in, feeling like I was going to throw up over everybody the whole time, but managed to like make it through it. But and my judge, the greatest man in America, just thought this whole thing was hilarious. Just thought it was the funniest thing that had ever happened. That the two of us had gone
two blackout drunk clerks.
Just thought it was absolutely hilarious. So that's my Ritz-Carlton story.
That's insane.
Praise to the Atlanta Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah, way to go. And way to go to the bar. You know, they really hated you,
They
but
totally
they
could
still
have called the
returned
police several times. Like, I also remember at one point standing outside smoking with a homeless dude, right? And talking about, like, yeah, these guys, they threatened to call the police on me. And the homeless guy was like, yeah, like the man, they was trying to call. And I was like, yeah, they called the police on me. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm just trying to, it's America, right? Anyways, yeah, could have gone horribly wrong.
Okay, your story and my hotel stories are nothing alike. Nothing alike. So, if you guys wanted to know what the difference is between being a man and a woman in America, right there, I'm sweeping the room for murderers, and you are being escorted to your room with someone else's purse.
Yep.
Oh,
but it all worked out in the end. And now we just have a good story.
Now we just have a good story. That's insane. Okay, you know what you should tell? Tell me your Supreme Court story.
Oh, my Supreme Court story. This is a short story, but it's a cool story,
y'all. We should make this an ad.
We should make this an ad. So if you're listening to this and you're a law student, pay attention because this could change your life, right? So last week I was in D.C. and I was at this like highfalutin thing with all these highfalutin people. And I'm eating like a shrimp, you know, like that I got for free because I'm standing. I always position myself at all these events right next to the door where all the people come in.
You and I both do.
With the appetizers.
That's why I love going with you.
That's right. It's the
We're
best
good
place.
at it.
You get all the appetizers, right? And
they try to skirt past you because they're like, dang it, I'm not going to walk by with a full plate.
Well, see, I usually charm the servers. So they're like this time there was something I remembered from last year and they hadn't brought it out yet. And I was like, hey, if you get any of those filet sliders, you make sure you see me. And sure enough, she comes over. She's like, I've got
Sir?
it. I was like, you rock. Anyway, so I'm eating my shrimp, eating my filet slider. And this lady comes over and she's like, hey, you probably don't remember me. We talked last year. I really like your podcast. And I did remember it. I was like, oh yeah, I remember talking to you. And then she says, let's
be clear real quick. This highfalutin conference is a lawyer conference. It is not a podcast situation. Yeah, so like most people here don't know Brett as podcaster.
And she says, I want you to know that your podcast got me a clerkship on the Supreme Court of the United States.
I was going to say, it is the SCOTUS.
Yeah. And I was like, really? And so then she tells the story. She's like, yeah, so I had this interview and you know, I had been studying all these different areas of the law and like really cramming all their stuff, you know, and I was thinking, well, they're not going to ask me about anything that's like currently before the court. And so I'm really focused on like historical stuff. And I had just my mind was completely full and I didn't know what to even do anymore. And I thought, man, I've got to relax. And so I put on Legal Briefs. So I started listening to Legal Briefs and you guys were talking about the case out of Oklahoma, the Glossop case, which was in front of the Supreme Court. And so I listened to your Glossop episode, and I was like, oh, that's really interesting. And then I went back to cramming. Next day, she has her interview. And the way it works when you interview for the Supreme Court, and frankly, when you interview for most appellate courts, really any court, the first people you talk to are the clerks. So the people who already have the job, they interview you first. And they have a lot of say with the judge about who gets hired. And so she says she goes to the interview with the clerks, and the interview is going really well. And then they're like, okay, you want to be on the Supreme Court. You want to clerk for the Supreme Court. Tell us about a case we're considering right now. And she goes, well, there's this Glossop case that you guys are considering. She was like, and she just like said everything. She was like, I just went ahead and said everything.
Legal briefs.
And what's funny about it is the justice for whom she was interviewing at the time ended up dissenting in that case, which means agreed with us because we were in the dissent. So the fact that she's presenting the case the way we presented it was
maybe we helped write the dissent.
There you go. It was very attractive, this justice. And then sure enough, she gets the clerkship.
That is like awesome. So
and then she tells me, but you're soft on crime because of this whole like escape thing.
Oh, you are soft on crime, so she's my fan then.
So
okay,
what are you talking about?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, you absolutely are soft on crime. I do not believe in the right to escape whatsoever. But I'm pretty sure, you know how when you write a book and they have like a review by someone famous, I'm pretty sure now we can say have successfully placed clerk on Supreme Court.
People
now
should start paying us for this service.
Yeah, you're welcome, everybody. I will say, so Mr. Alice is also a lawyer. Not really.
Is he a lawyer anymore?
He's not a lawyer anymore. Doesn't really listen to our podcast that much. Love the man, but, you know, he, like me, gets scared about true crime stuff. But anyways, he listened to our latest legal briefs, and he said he was cackling, laughing out loud. He's like, you guys are kind of funny. I was like, yeah, we've been doing this for 5 years. We're like really good at this.
We're really funny. More people should listen. What are you talking about?
More people should listen. Anyways, so maybe the new year. I mean, we can count this as a third podcast, but if you want more content, maybe we do more content.
Yeah.
I don't know. Only if you guys want it. We did just sign a 2-year contract.
We did.
So we are locked in for 2 years. Oh!
What?
Mr. Alice is currently listening.
Oh, is that right?
Hey, I listen.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry, Mr. Alice. Sorry.
You
totally listen. You called me out on it right now.
Okay, my wife always watches them. She's probably asleep by now.
That's what I'm saying. Is she always listens because she's texting us in real time. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Mr. Alice. You are an incredibly supportive husband.
So supportive.
But you don't have all the time in the world, so.
It's true.
And we definitely talk a lot.
I mean, that is the job, right? That's all we do is we talk.
That is the job.
All right. Well,
this has been fun. You have court in like 3 hours, so you should go to sleep.
Anyway, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of After Dark. When will we see you? It's hard to say.
We don't know.
It's a mystery. It's like much of life. We just appear in the darkness when you need us. We're like Batman or something. I don't know. Anyways, well, this has been fun. Alice, I've enjoyed this. And even though nothing good happens after dark, I hope we do this very soon. But until then, she's Alice.
And he's Brett.
And this is the Prosecutors After Dark.